Hey there, folks. I'm Matt Hansen.
And I'm John Johnson.
And you're listening to
Planes, Trains, and Comic Books.
The podcast where we discuss favorites we've reread, both classic and new comics we want to read, and everything else in between.
And here's the comic we picked this week.
What is going on, everybody? Matt here, and I'm just letting you guys know that this one is going to be different than what we said last week. We were going to do Batman the White Knight, Volume 1, but John, unfortunately, has come down with the vid. So he is sick and out, and we could not record this weekend, so we decided to put out a banked episode we had for the Fantastic Four Full Circle graphic novel that came out a couple months ago. And I know I did a review of this on my YouTube channel already, but we go in depth with what the story is and the art and everything. So enjoy this one for now, and next month we will be doing Batman the White Knight Volume 1 for the Patreon episode. So until then, we hope you guys like this one very much, and thank you so much for being patrons. We love you all. And with that, let's get into the episode. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of
Planes, Trains, and Comic Books.
Today, we are checking out Fantastic Four Full Circle.
Hell yeah.
And if you don't know what this is, I actually did a review of it on our YouTube channel, but it is a contained graphic novel. It's like an original graphic novel, I guess, that is by Alex Ross, and it is fucking amazing. That's the only words I can think of to say it. Like, if you know Alex Ross art, he draws very statuesque, perfect models of people. You know, if you see, I'm sure you've seen his Superman. If you see his Superman, you're like, that is Superman. Am I looking at a picture or a painting? I can't tell.
That's definitely one thing about his art. Like I say, if you generally know comics, you probably know Alex Ross is
or at least his covers. He does a lot of covers.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, it's like if you think of like what a like picture perfect kind of painting would be, it's that all the time, every time. Like, it's just amazing. And he's everything he's done, from like comic book characters to like animated show characters to, you know, because he's dipped his toe into painting
Sure, people pay him. He'll
that's
pay whatever
true.
He wants.
Because he did a Space Ghost that I was like, oh man, that's badass.
Yeah. So I will say this: the only things that I know that he's really done, like not monthly probably, but like a story that, not that he's written, but that he's painted, was the series called Marvels by Marvel that came out in the mid-90s. And then he also did a series for DC called Kingdom Come.
Oh, okay.
You've never read Kingdom Come?
No.
Oh my God.
For me, I know
That's on our fucking list now.
I can see the cover.
Okay, yeah. So Kingdom Come is like I think it's a 4 or 5 issue miniseries. And I think Marvel's was like a 6 or 7 issue miniseries. But they're all miniseries. They're all pretty self-contained because you can't keep up that level of art. And I'm sure before those even went to print, he already had like all of them in the can, because there's no way you're painting all those pages
in a week or a month.
Yeah. So this is actually not a Marvel distributed comic or a printed comic. It is actually published by Abrams Publishing because I don't know why Marvel just, I guess, didn't believe in it or something. I don't know. I feel like he probably came to Marvel first and was like, I have this great idea. They're like, we don't want none of that. And then he went to Abrams and was like, how about you license the Fantastic Four from them, because no one's doing anything with the Fantastic Four right now, and I will put out this fucking awesome book. And they're like, okay. So they did that. This is actually called Marvel Arts book, but that's just their, like, we let someone use our property and write their own story. It's not in canon. It's not official, which is actually funny in this story, because this story is kind of like Alex Ross fan fiction of the Fantastic Four from Jack Kirby and Stan Lee era. And in that era, there's an issue called, it's issue 51. It's called This Man, This Monster. It's got a very iconic cover of, it's like raining in New York, and you see like a full page of the Thing standing there looking all like angry and, you know, mad or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, why do people think I'm a monster?
Yeah. And so it's a very iconic book. People liked that issue a lot. We will briefly go through that because it kind of is needed. It's not needed to pick up this book, but just for the podcast, we're not going to read all the narration that explains what happened in that issue.
No, we're not going to read the 22 pages of a bit of art and a ton of Stanley writing.
Yes. So, but we will just briefly give you a synopsis of that issue, so it's kind of easier to see what happens in this one. But I will say, I love the idea of it being like fan fiction, like because I have had this idea too, where it's like you read a comic book and it just leaves a story hanging, or it leaves something that could be expanded on, but they just keep going with their own thing, and you're like, what if I wrote like what happens after, and it's just like this branch of fan fiction that might be cool. And when you're at a professional level like Alex Ross is, you can do that, and people still might consider this canon. I don't know. You never know. Just like Dark Knight or Killing Joke have been folded into canon. It's like these are like what ifs. You never know. If people like them enough, hey, guess what? Barbara Gordon was shot, and now she's Oracle. Who knows? So yeah. If you're one of these greats, sometimes that can happen. But anyway, so we'll just briefly give the synopsis, or go through what the issue 51 of Fantastic Four is. So Ben Grimm, he's been down and out ever since he became this rock monster. The Fantastic Four, if you don't know, are 4 people. It is Reed Richards, his wife Sue Richards, her brother Johnny Storm. I guess her name is Sue Storm as well, and they don't call her Sue Richards very often. It's always Sue Storm, and then Ben Grimm, who was like best friends with Reed Richards. And if you don't know their powers, Reed Richards can stretch really far his body, and like pretty much as far as you could possibly stretch it, it stretches. So he's super stretchy. Then Sue Richards has invisibility powers, like she can become invisible, but she can also make like force fields out of like invisible energy. Yeah. So, and then Johnny Storm, he is the human torch. So he lights on fire, flame on, and he says that, and he lights on fire, but doesn't die on fire.
Thank goodness.
He can handle it, and that lets him fly around and stuff. And then Ben Grimm, he's a rock monster. He just has a rock body, and he's not happy.
Gets crazy strength and stuff with it.
Yeah, I mean, as you do. It's kind of like Hulk, but with rocks.
Yes.
So he's not very happy about it, though. Like, he went on the first mission with the Fantastic Four when all their powers, got bestowed upon them. And it was just a freak accident. Like, it was like, gamma rays or cosmic rays or whatever they got hit with when they went into space. And it turned everybody into cool shit except Ben. Ben got to be the Danny DeVito, twins.
He's the only one that gets, like, mutated to the point of, like, you can't look normal on a daily basis like they all can.
Yeah, at least everybody else, the Human Torch, until he says flame on, he's just a normal-looking boy. And so it's the same with Sue and Reed. So that's kind of like issue 51 is playing on that, where he's just bummed out, like, man, Reed said he would cure me, but there's been no progress on that, and I don't know what to do. And then while he's walking and he's all sad, he runs into a guy, we don't know his name, but he looks a lot like a human version of Ben Grimm, kind of.
Yeah, that's a good description.
Like, of the way that, in rock form. If Ben Grimm in rock form just had human skin, this dude's face looks like that. And the guy's like, hey, man, like, you're that guy from the Fantastic Four. He's like, yeah, what of it? He's like, come on, let me buy you a drink. And so this dude kind of like chats Ben up. They become kind of friendly. Then he's like, why don't you come over to my house? And at that point, I'd be like, no, I don't want to get raped by you, dude.
Some random dude like, hey, come over to my house for a bit.
Yeah, come here. We'll be fun. We'll have fun.
So Ben does.
I saw that Dahmer movie that came out. So yeah, Ben goes over there, and then I believe he makes him tea or something, and then that makes Ben pass out.
Yeah, there's something in it.
Yeah, there's something in it. Yeah, he spiked his drink, and then
he roofied Ben. He roofied the thing.
He roofied the thing, and then he puts this contraption on him that will change bodies, I guess, change, not bodies. I guess it'll change their minds. It'll put the mind of Ben Grimm into this other guy's body, and the other guy's body.
No. It actually takes away. It like takes the powers and puts.
Oh, is that what? Okay.
Yeah, because Ben wakes up
You're right. So anyway, yeah, it totally transforms Ben back into human, but takes the powers and puts it into this other guy who becomes a rock monster that looks the same as the thing.
Yeah.
So, and the whole thing is that guy did this because he's mad at Reed Richards, because he is also a scientist, and Reed Richards is the best scientist. He's like, I will get you, Reed Richards. I will show that I am the best scientist. Aha. So this is a big 60s plot right there. And so the guy, as we'll call him Fake Ben. Fake Ben goes to the Fantastic Four headquarters, like,
walks right in.
Everybody, you know me, old Ben here, looking the same as always, and everybody buys it because how many rock monsters are there, And then eventually Ben Grimm wakes up because he did not get killed, so we'll call him Human Ben. So Human Ben wakes up, and he didn't get killed or anything. He's just like, oh my God, I'm a person again. And then this is funny. This kind of reminded me of The Simpsons, where like the episode where Bart wants to get like a pocket knife, but he's like, screw it. Knives are lame anyway because someone won't let him do it. And then as he's walking through the city, you just see like, oh my God, someone's tied this man up with ropes. We need a knife. And he's like, aw. And then you see like someone like, oh, my appendix is about to burst. And then the doctor cuts into him with a knife and saves him. And he goes, and they're like, oh, thank you, doctor. He's like, don't thank me. Thank the knife. And like just shit like that. Like just every time he's walking somewhere, he needs his super strength, right? Like, but now he's like a human. So he like, I think he even gets like hit by a car. So there's like stuff that happens throughout the issue where it's like, man, if only I was strong and made of rock.
Yeah, he even goes back to the Fantastic Four headquarters, and they're like, "You're not like it's weird. You kind of look like Ben, but you're not because that's him. He's the thing now.
The thing's right
so
there.
Get out of here, you
like,
crazy
No, that's
guy.
a fake Ben thing. I'm the real Ben thing, and it's like a back and forth. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So eventually, after like this back and forth, they argue and they say like, there's no way that you're Ben Grimm because you're not made of rock, and my buddy Ben is. And he sounds the same and everything. So I guess the guy like could mimic his voice. Like, he's got like a New Yorker voice, eh? I don't know. That's not how New York people.
You just sounded like
I'm walking here. That's how I assume they talk. So
pretty much,
yeah. So Ben leaves, in shame, and then we find out like the secret thing that the bad guy's going to do is, initially he was just going to destroy the equipment or something, right? But then. Reed Richards has an experiment he's about to do, and he's like, the only person who can help me with this is my old buddy Ben. Good old Ben, my best friend, because he's got super strength, and the idea is that this machine opens a portal into the end zone, which is like the negative zone, I guess, and he wants to go in there and like explore, and when he goes in there, he needs someone on our side to like hold the rope so he can be pulled back in, and the forces in the end zone might make it so that's hard. So you need someone like
only Ben can do it,
who weighs thousands of pounds and has a lot of muscle. So, I think I'm trying to remember. It was a hot second since we read that one, but
the main point of it too is that that guy, the Rock Ben, fake Ben, is also not only is he like jealous of that, but he doesn't have friends. Like nobody liked him, so like this is part of it. He's gonna like come in and like. Fake this friendship and like take all that greatness away from him and from Reed and show that he's the greater one. And then the main point of it is that they keep being like, "You're my best pal, Ben," and like basically like
old trustworthy Ben,
like softening the way that the fake Ben is thinking. He's like, "Oh, this is kind of nice, like to have someone be so nice to you." And
friends are nice.
Friends are cool. Yeah.
And so eventually Reed goes in the end zone. Some trouble happens while like Ben is thinking about fake Ben is still thinking like, do I let him go and die in the end zone, like let go of the rope and not pull him back, or do I do a thing? And then he has like his whole like, but we're friends now, and only friends would help friends out of the end zone, or like he right when he's about to pull the rope, kind of just like the end of the rope. He waited so long. There's like coils of rope. And they're all slipping through his hands. And as he's like, you know what? I am going to help. The last bit of rope leaves his hands. And he's like, oh, shit, I got to go help him. So he jumps into the end zone himself. And then fake Ben is able to jump on like this rock that's floating in the middle of this open void and where Reed is. And he takes Reed and he chucks him back with his super strength through the portal. The portal closes. Fake Ben is left there. And it's like, oh, man, he gave his life for us. But when he does that... I don't know why. They don't explain why, but the bodies transform back.
Whoa.
Yeah, so whoever that guy that was fake Ben is transforms back into skin body, and then real Ben or human Ben transforms back into rock Ben. So
yeah, and then he comes back and he's like, oh, guys, see, and he's like, oh, but you were in there. How did that happen? And then they realize, like, oh, okay, that wasn't.
I wasn't lying. You don't know your best friend? I'm your best friend, not that guy. So yeah, there was a bunch of like best friend thrown around and all that. Anyway, back to our crazy adventure.
So that quote unquote villain learns the value of friendship,
and then dies.
And then gives his life for his only friend, who's not really his friend. He thinks he's someone else.
Yeah, like he's not really being friendly to you because he likes you. He thinks you're Ben.
Yeah,
and that's why he likes you. But either way, I guess just the example of what friendship could be.
Yeah.
If someone did like him theoretically. So that is where Fantastic Four Circle kind of comes from. It picks up, and we get, like, I will say the cover of this is why I bought this book initially. Alex Ross, I'm not that big a fan of, actually, because the first time you see his stuff, you're like, wow, that's amazing. And then you see every other drawing he's ever done, and you're like, wow, that all looks the same. It's a statuesque version of a hero I like. Once you've seen them, to me, this is my opinion, once you've seen them once, you kind of seen them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that much movement or cool poses or anything. They're always just standing, like, proud and looking up or some shit.
Statuesque.
Yeah, statues. It's like if you saw, the Rocky statue or something, and you're like, got it. And then if they're like, hey, guess what? We put another statue of Rambo right next to him. And it's like, but I mean, it's another statue. It looks the same.
It's
the same guy.
Still the same, yeah.
And I say that because a lot of his guys look similar in face and whatnot. It's hard to draw like thousands of different types of faces, I guess. So.
Yeah, anybody who's got a stone jaw has got no other than the thing, but but like a stone looking jaw will be
chiseled jaw.
There you go, chiseled.
So, but the reason why I saw this and I wanted to pick it up is because it looks completely different. Things are in motion on the cover. You see Reed Richards is stretched out, all crazy. You see fire from Johnny Storm, going around, and just it looks completely different. It is not statuesque. And not only that, the art looks different. Like, it's not just like gleaming painted gods. It's like you see all the cracks of and like the shadow detail, and it looks like stuff is colored in pencil, like shaded with pencil, and then inked and then colored over that. So it's very interesting. And then also the colors are very like pop, like super bright yellow, super bright pink, super bright purple.
Very much. I distinctly love the light of the flame on Thing's orange body.
Yeah, and I'll say this, I heard that he made a model of each of these characters that are posable and then lit them and then would paint them. So like the lighting is correct as far as that goes.
That's awesome.
For each panel. Wow. I don't know how long this book
can you imagine the amount of time?
But that's probably why it's 62 pages and not 162 pages. So this is technically like the size of 4, I guess, like 3.5 issues of comics, but or 2 fat, special edition issues. So, and he wrote and drew this. So as far as I know, like you asked before we started recording, this is the first time that he's ever written that I know of.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember have heard of anything that he had written. I'm just familiar with his art. So I was like, okay, like, Alex Ross writing too. How's that going to be?
Yeah. So let's get into the book. We start off in New York in front of the Baxter Building. And I was going to say the Fantastic Four building.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. So the Baxter Building is where the Fantastic Four, hero out of, I guess, the base out of. And we see standing in front of that building ominously on the sidewalk, looking up at the building, is some like person in tattered clothes that are like a cloak that's totally surrounding them. And then we cut to the inside of the Baxter Building and we see Ben Grimm, as usual. He's getting a sandwich. He's making a Sammy. And so he's getting all his favorite fixins. And then he hears a noise. And then all of a sudden, Johnny comes out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, you still eating, you fat butt?" Like they just make fun of each other, going back and forth. That's one thing about them. Like, one thing I liked about this is that he kept that, like, the way that they used to be back in the Stan Lee and Jack Kirby version is like, Ben's always kind of like, well, it's my day, I'm kind of sad, but, eventually Reed will help me out. And then Johnny's like, "Hey, you rock monster." And he's like, "Why are you going to call me?
Why are you going to make fun of me all the time, Johnny?"
Yeah. "Hey, you big stupid rock monster." So then they think that, or Ben thinks that the noise he heard was Johnny, But then all of a sudden they hear another noise, like another creak, and they look over, and that man with the tattered cloak is just standing in the room. And then all of a sudden you hear, intruder alert, and like the alarms go off. And everybody freaks out. Everybody gathers around this person, and they are able to, like, the person's just standing there not moving. So they just get the person, and they put them on, like, out of the floor, it seems, like a pops like gurney or whatever, like a hospital table where, like, you can, not analyze, you can examine the person. And so they start examining him, and they see, wait a second, this looks like that guy, even though I'm not sure how they know. I guess maybe Ben explains.
Ben's like, I know that guy's face.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I guess Ben's like, oh yeah, so that's the guy that turned me in, that took my powers and became a rock monster that one time. And they're like, what? Why
all those years ago?
Yeah. So this is supposed to be in the future, but it's definitely like coming off of that. And then we get like the flashback story of everything that we just explained that happened in issue 51 for the new readers. Yeah. So that's why I say you don't have to know that, but it's definitely fun to go back and read those old Jack Kirby Stanley issues.
And specifically from the aspect of this page, because I took some in the art for this to show on YouTube if you want to look at it. There's specifically Alex Ross not only is doing his amazing art for this, then he goes back and does his version of Jack Kirby art,
which is fucking
for
amazing.
for panel in this comic, and it looks so cool. Like I put them side by side, and it looks so cool.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I mean, he really went above and beyond on this art. Like it's interesting when someone who's like, oh, I have a career for 40 years of painting anything I want, like amazingly statuesque people. People will pay me to do that all day long, and I don't have to stretch my artistic boundaries at all. I could just do that all day and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And with this, he's like, no, I love this, and I'm going to push myself to a new artistic level.
For real.
Which is crazy. Also, I heard this is not the last one of these. He's got more in the bank with Abrams. So I think we're going to see some more of the, I don't know if it's Fantastic Four, but it might be more like other.
That's cool if he just does one-off story, like fanfic stories that he likes. Oh, man.
Yeah, so I think that's supposed to happen, but I'm not sure. So just get your hopes up for some of those. So,
oh, yeah.
With comics, you never know until it actually comes out. But but yeah, so we see what happens in the last, in issue 51 that we went over. So then as they're talking about that, they're like, wait, something's coming out of his mouth. And then they think he's going to talk or something, like his mouth is moving. They're like, oh, is he going to be like, wake me up or whatever? But like what actually comes out is this black, gross shit. And then his body explodes, like kind of like aliens, but like worse. Like if there was thousands of aliens inside of him, his just chest bursts out. All these aliens come and into the room, and they're like these black, weird shaped things.
It very much kind of reminds me of the gooey black stuff that like Gore had, that would like the creatures that would shoot out of that from Marvel. Gore the God Butcher, when he had all the like crazy black,
right? From the comic,
yeah. Well, they did it in the movie a bit, but it was more shadows in the movie. But it just,
I got you. Or like Venom,
yeah, or symbiote-esque, yeah. That's
but like pieces of symbiote that are all on their own. So they start flying around and attacking everybody, and of course, luckily everything's fireproof in this room because Johnny Storm is just lighting shit on fire, trying to hit them, and then we get to see some cool shots of Oh, I will say the one thing that's awesome is when the alarm gets set off and everybody runs in. You see Reed Richards go, what's going on? And then you see a bubble of someone talking, but you can't see him because she's invisible. She's like, Johnny, are you okay? And then Johnny looks and goes, ew, because she's naked.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Reed and her were
in the middle of
loving, because Reed is also like in a bathrobe or whatever. So I thought that was funny. That would never be in a 60s comic, but it just made me laugh. Like, okay, we're updating it a little bit. We don't know how many years it's been. Maybe it's in the 70s and, so forth. So, but yeah, so we get to see Sue, like make force fields around these creatures and hold them in bubbles and stuff. So, eventually they are like, I guess there's like, kind of like a fail safe program where Reed Richards can just yell out like burn them all or whatever the safe word is, catch up. And then all of a sudden fire shoots out of the walls and like burns everything except for the Fantastic Four.
Thank goodness.
So it kills all these bugs, and they're like, man, what happened? And we see the guy's body's kind of like, it was like he was just a shell, and then these things were like stuck inside of him, like just animating him or something. And they wanted to be here to kill the Fantastic Four. And Reed Richards is like, I know these things. They're from the end zone. So he's like, we got to go back in the end zone. That's basically what they come up with.
I love that, like, while Reed's, like, determining all this, Ben's, like, got a vacuum cleaner cleaning up the bug stuff.
Yeah, well, Ben, he cares about mess.
And just all the little details in this are fun.
Yeah. So originally Reed's like, I'm going to go into the negative zone and then by myself because I know. And then everybody else is like, no, except Ben, who's like, yeah, you should go by yourself. But they're like, no, Ben, we need you. He's like, God damn it. Like, why do I have to be the strong guy? Like, so anyway, they suit up and he explains that he gives them new suits and stuff. So I think this is actually like a bridge between other things that have happened in Fantastic Four where they'll get a new suit randomly and they're like, wait, when did that happen? This kind of might bridge some of that stuff too. But they think maybe it's the work of Annihilus, who is a bad guy in the end zone that they fought. And I'm saying the letter N zone, like negative zone. They shorten it to end zone a lot. And so Annihilus is kind of like a big, he's like Dr. Doom, but he's gigantic. He's like 10 stories tall or whatever.
Yeah, I did say this is the first time I've ever seen Annihilus like as a bad guy, like actually like in something because I've only seen photos.
But you read Fantastic Four, Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Well, I guess I didn't read the whole run. I don't remember him from the first.
He's in that. Yeah, he's in like the first 3 trades or something like that.
Oh wow, I don't. Remember
you just forgot it.
Yeah, that's so bad.
Anyway, yeah, that's how I know him is because I haven't read a lot of old Fantastic Four, but I have read the Ultimate Fantastic Four series, and he is in that. So he's kind of like a Dr. Doom guy. He runs in this. He's like runs a kingdom in the end zone, and he hates the Fantastic Four because they keep going there and bothering him and shit. So, but he's like gigantic. So they think it's the work of him. And so they suit up in their new suits that will protect them from the negative energy in the end zone, except Ben, who just gets a set of new briefs.
Yeah. He almost always has briefs.
And I love this. He goes, as they're running, suiting up, he's like, Reed Richards like, don't worry, guys. I made you all new suits that are like made of unstable molecules, and they will repair themselves, and there's no way they could hurt you or anything. And then Ben's running, and he's like, still shorts for me, huh? Like, because they got him in Speedos, basically. Yeah. It's pretty funny. I thought that was good. But then they go into the end zone, and immediately they, like, I guess land on a planet where Annihilus is.
And they go in and like it's all this color from them, and they go into like basically black and white.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But then like the second they walk into Annihilus's lair, it's all shiny and crazy colors again, like pop art, pinks and yellows and greens and blues. It's all crazy. And they see Annihilus, and he's just eating these bug things that burst out of the man from in their apartment earlier, and so. They're like, he's got him, right? It's got to be him. But they're standing there, and Sue Storm, one of her powers, she can make anybody who she's like touching or like thinking about invisible. So she has made everybody invisible, and they're just watching this giant Annihilus eat these bug creatures. But it turns out that is not the person who brought them here. They kind of are trying to figure out a way out of there. I will say that some of this is a little bit, I'm not sure where we're at or what's going on sometimes, because it's like we're in Annihilus's lair, and then they run down a hallway, and now they're back in space kind of thing.
That's just the end zone. It's crazy.
I guess, yeah.
Stuff everywhere.
So that's, they go down a hallway, and then they get surrounded by more of these creatures. Then Johnny's able to burn them all. Then they come out into, or they get surrounded by like all these different monsters and shapes, and they're all different colors, and there's a face in it. And who is this guy, John?
Dr. Richard Janus.
So Dr. Richard Janus, I didn't know who this was. Apparently he is an old Fantastic Four villain. But I will say this. I did recognize his face, and I don't know if Alex Ross used this guy's face for
I'm curious who you think it looked like, because I thought it looked like someone very specific.
I thought it looked like someone very specific too, and we probably are not thinking of the same person.
I don't think so.
So this dude totally, I'm almost 100% is the bad guy from Return of the Valley of the Dolls.
It's been so long since we've seen that.
I will show you a picture.
Okay. Well, because
hold on, I'm gonna pause this and we'll show you a picture.
Okay, you're pulling a picture. I'm gonna say who I think it looks like first too. I thought it looked like young Freddie Mercury.
I mean, he could, but he doesn't have a mustache or anything.
Well, I mean, yeah. There's been times where
let me show you this, and we'll cut back in a second. And we're back. So I showed John the character named Z-Man in the movie called Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, not Return of the Valley Dolls, Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, which is a terrible or fantastically funny and horrible movie.
I remember. I think we did watch this together.
Oh, we watched this before.
Ago, yeah.
100%. I made you watch this, but. It is one of my creepy. It's like the creepiest weird movie. It is written by Ebert.
Oh, whoa!
Which makes me question anything he has to say about anybody else's movies. But Roger Ebert wrote this movie, and it makes me say, like, no, you don't get to.
You don't get
to grade other people's movie if you wrote this. But so, John, you thought it was who?
Okay, so I thought it looked like a younger Freddie Mercury.
Okay. I showed John a picture of this dude's face. In the movie, his name is Z-Man in the movie. He wears like a Prince Valiant, like haircut and like thing. He looks exactly.
No, he does look exactly like that, which is funny because he's Richard Janis, but then his villain name in this is the Nega Man. Because of his nega powers.
He's the Z-Man. If you turn Z sideways, it's the N-Man.
Yep.
So, yeah, I just saw that and was like, what the fuck? That's something that no one else would get. And it's interesting because the colors in this really do fit that movie. So I don't know if that's what he's actually going for, but it really, really looks like Z-Man from Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
I love the page where he pops up, too, because it reminds me of Jack Kirby. It's like kind of got like that Kirby Crackle color to it.
Dude, the Kirby Crackle that he recreates in this, it's not Kirby Crackle, but it looks like a fantastic version, like the best version I've ever seen of Kirby Crackle.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Kirby Crackle is, that's what space looks like to Jack Kirby. Like these like weird kind of squarish orbs that like are like, I don't know if they're supposed to be light or they're usually like it's light that is diffused or something from the vacuum
like
of space.
Neon colors.
Yeah. So Kirby is known for that. Jack Kirby, the original artist of Fantastic Four. So like people have tried to do it, and sometimes they do okay. This is probably like the best version I've seen of someone trying to make it their own, but also make it Kirby-esque. So then we cut once he's captured them, and we kind of get like a little bit. We cut to black, and then we see. Like his plan or whatever. I was a little bit. I guess he's just trying to keep him in the end zone. Is all that he's trying to do, right?
Basically, he was obsessed with finding a new source of energy because Reed Richards, he went to college with him. They were friends, but he basically was like, Richards always is like one-upping me, and as all of the villains of like the top like good guy scientists, the bad guy wants to become the bad guys are always like. Too jealous. They're like, well, how come he's getting fame and I'm not? Yeah. Well, I'm going to find something that gives me fame. So I'm going to find like this awesome, amazing energy. And like, oh, like I know of the negative zone because of Reed. Like,
with Reed, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'm going to harness this negative energy or nega power, as he likes to call it. And so like Reed moved on to new things and Janis continued his work on that. And basically he exposed himself to too much of this and he split himself into two different beings. So he is Dr. Janis or Janice and the Nega Man. And the Nega Man is like the overpowered Dr. Janis that wants like now like is like the full evil embodiment, wants to conquer, wants to defeat Reed Richards or not. Defeat is a word, but like just to destroy Reed Richards and then like conquer the universe.
Yeah.
As they all want to.
Yes. But he has been stuck in this end zone, I guess, according to this comic. So, he tries to like fill them up with those creepy crawly venom symbiote looking things.
Yeah.
But luckily Sue Richards puts a force field in the mouths of everybody so that they can't get inside of them. And then while they're like fighting and breaking out, Reed punches like along, he extends his arm, punches right into and what's his name? Nega Man's face. And it splits it in two, and then all of a sudden it kind of like dissolves. And it's just weird. Like it just goes away, and then all of a sudden they were making too much noise doing that. Because they're still in Annihilace's like area, right?
Yeah.
So, like Annihilus heard him, and he's like, "What? Who's making all that noise over here?" And he walks over there, and they're like, "Oh shit, we can't fight both of them." Because I guess the Nega Man like he disappeared, but then he came back a little. I don't know. It's like a little bit wishy-washy. I'm not sure exactly what happens here, but eventually the Nega Man is no more. Because he confronts them in space as they fly out, and the Nega Man's like, "You, he's like, you can't run from me, basically." And then Reed Richards says, "But you're dead." Like,
yeah, I think from my understanding is like he and Annihilus clash, and Annihilus like basically destroys him easily, but destroys him to the point of like his physical embodiment and him being able to escape the negative zone now is gone. He is just like a part of the nega zone.
I took this to be that he's always been that in this comic. Like, so he's not, because they talk about how like everything here is kind of like the negative version of the other side.
Yeah.
And it's only like our thoughts and stuff that manifest inside here. So he only appears because they come in and they maybe they're thinking about Janice or looking for Janice, and that makes him appear and manifest in this end zone.
Oh no, I think it was because of the way he tried to get the energy that he got stuck there, and I think he tried to fight Annihilus at first, and then Annihilus easily defeated him basically, and he's like, "Well, I will stay here and maybe help and like one day get you back to."
The only reason I think that is because as Nega Man is talking to him, he's like, "You think I'm an equal, an eccentric, a crackpot? You cannot escape an embodiment of negative energy in the negative zone. Don't you realize that?" And then Reed Richards says, "Janice, the friend who had fooled me into believing he killed his evil nega copy, would prove to be a madman himself. His desire for nega power brought him here where he died." So he did die here. Mm-hmm. And then most violently upon contact with the planet's antimatter atmosphere, you are a thinking that thinks it's a man. So you're just an echo of that man. So I don't know if like it's just the consciousness of Nega Man that had died
in the end.
He's not actually like as powerful as Nega Man was or something. That's what I got from it.
And he's like, yeah, so maybe he thinks he is, but he's not because he's just the. Okay, that makes sense.
So he hatched this plot, but he didn't have any teeth to back it up, kind of thing.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So while they're here, they see the planet. There was a planet that in the original issue 51, that was made. They said, "Oh, that's negative matter or whatever, or antimatter planets. We can't go there because it will kill us. It will turn our matter into antimatter." Yeah. But their suits can handle antimatter now, so they're like, "Wait, we should go to that planet." And just like they're like riding some rocks that are crashing down to that planet, but they're like, "Hey, don't worry. It's basically Earth. It's just an anti-Earth." I kind of would have wished they show an Earth, just a regular looking Earth. I wish they would have like flipped it somehow, or that it's upside down. It's like the negative version of the Earth. Yeah. So the continents as we know them are in a different orientation or something. That would have been cool. But yeah, so they go to this anti-Earth, and when they get there, at first they're they land in the city, and of course everybody in the city is like, "What the fuck? We're like getting invaded by aliens. This is crazy." So guards come and they try to shoot at Ben. Sorry, Ben. The
thing.
The thing. I was like, what the fuck is his name?
What's his name?
Yeah,
what's that thing's name?
Rockman. And so everybody starts attacking him, and then he's like about to attack back, but of course Reed's like, "Stop! They don't know what's going on. Like, just put the car down or whatever." He lifts up a space.
And it's all futuristic, mind you, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so they're
this world is definitely like Futurama world.
As they are going into the planet, like the atmosphere, you don't see the Earth yet, and then once they get to like they're getting into the city and street levels, like it's all like futuristic and flying cars and like 1960s what they thought the future was going to be. Yes.
So
with humanoid-esque other creatures too.
Yeah, there's like a guy with a lion body and stuff. So there's interesting things here. No one speaks English, of course. And so they try to talk to each other, but no one can understand, except there's one man who's like who looks like a robot, and he says something in local speech, and then he yells out, "Wait!" So he can speak English, and everybody's like, "What? How do you speak English?" And then he like takes off his helmet, and we see it is the man from the original 1960s issue. We never knew his name, but we do know his name now. He introduces himself as
Ricardo Jones.
which is like the silliest name ever, but I think he did it on purpose because it's kind of like a 60s
It's such
thing.
a 60s name.
I'm Ricardo Jones.
Jack Russell.
Yeah.
Ricardo Jones.
Yeah. So this Ricardo Jones fella, after he was left in the end zone in issue 51, crash landed on this planet. His body went through the negative matter, or the antimatter, I guess. But then it didn't kill him. It just made his body into antiparticles or whatever. So when he lands on Earth, he's about to die, but someone there, I don't know if it's a scientist or whatever, is able to like contain him until he can build himself a body. Because he's a scientist. So he builds himself this, mechanical body that is kind of like, it's not like Mr. Freeze's suit or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a good.
Yeah, you can just like be inside of it. Or kind of like even better, like, you haven't read this, I don't think, but in the BPRD, in Hellboy's universe, there's a guy, I think his name is Johan.
Oh, the gas?
He's like a ghost or a gaseous guy that's in like a suit. It's like that.
That's cool. Well, he was in the other Hellboy movie, so I'm familiar with him.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You're like, I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie. Anyway, so then we get like probably like the exposition dump in this comic. And, these I didn't fault it for this because this really did feel like a 60s comic. So I'm like, it just feels like a 60s comic. But we get the whole story. Basically, he landed here. He made himself a body. He's lived with these people. They're great people. And the only thing that sucks is that he has to be in this suit all the time. And then also, one of the other guys comes up and, puts his hand up, almost like he's saying how, like he's Native American or something. And then that's what
It does. It does look
it
like
looks like that. And he also looks, and I'll say this, he looks like, remember those old commercials where like someone threw a paper cup out the window and a Native American found it and then started crying?
Yeah.
He's got that dude's face.
Okay, a bit. I can see it.
Or Leonard Nimoy. It could be Leonard Nimoy.
Or maybe let's go with Leonard Nimoy.
All right. Well, I'm not going to...
Makes it less racist.
Yeah. Look, should I delete that?
Nah, leave it in.
All right. Well, don't cancel me, guys. All right. All right. Anyway, so we just found out he's been living good here. He's been helping the people out with his like skills of developing technology.
Yeah, everything is super advanced here.
Yeah. So he's been good. The only thing that sucks is he's got to wear this suit. He hasn't figured out a way to make his suit better. And Reed's like, hold on a second. I got an idea. Check out my suit. It's like it can hold antiparticles, and it's made of unstable molecules, which is like a thing in the Fantastic Four universe. And basically, it's kind of like silly putty. You can pull a piece off and it heals itself, but then that new piece can be expanded into anything as well. So he makes a suit out of his suit for Ricardo Jones. And then Ricardo Jones cries as he takes off his metal suit for the first time and puts on his new suit, and he's very happy. And then they're like, we know how to send you back. We have like a teleporter or whatever. So they do that. They put him in a teleporter. They send him back to our universe out of the end zone. And then the whole family's back in the Baxter Building.
Yep. And the kids are there. So this is, Franklin is canon in this run.
Is he not canon?
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I know some people hate Franklin.
Oh, I guess so. I mean, I guess depending on what they've done with him, but I haven't read too much about Franklin. So anyway, everybody's happy. Everybody's, back at being a family inside the Baxter Building. And then we get like isn't it weird how, like you get like the lesson or whatever.
Yeah. I do love Johnny. It's like Johnny has that moment with Ben, and he's like, he liked being you so much, and like, look at that, you did some good, being the Thing. You should feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
Orange rock monster.
Yeah. He's like, thanks.
Thank you.
So yeah, then we cut to lunch, I guess, maybe later that day or something, and Ben's making a sandwich as always, and
he loves the sandwiches.
Yeah, and then we get like a last line from Reed, who's saying, like basically explaining how they got the stuff from the negative zone into our world, and how the negative zone works. Like it's psychoreactive, and it feeds off of their minds as well. So like that's why some of the things came out and were scary. And and that's pretty much it.
Well, it's like, so I guess like negative energy came here, and like because he learned to be like what friendship was and learned to be like good at the end of his, like transfer there, like his positive energy came into the negative zone.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So now that Earth is there, that anti-Earth, and is happy and living good inside of this horrible negative universe.
And hopefully Annihilus doesn't come and destroy
I'm sure
it.
Annihilus won't come and kill him.
No, he won't know.
Actually, he can't because the outside of the Earth is like an antimatter blockade or whatever. So if anything antimatter tries to go through it, it will destroy it or something. Now, I think that's something Ricardo Jones built
to protect
them. So,
Annihilus.
So yeah, and then there's like, well, now we're home safe. Off to new adventures, and then Ben eats a sandwich, and that's it. So
Ben's like, "You're still gonna fix me, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it.
Sure." Anyway,
I swear that's top of my list of things to do.
And cut to the list, and there's like millions of things in front of that.
Yeah, number 102, fix Ben.
Yeah, exactly. So John, what did you think of it? What would you give it?
I liked it a lot. First off, the art, again, I don't think we can speak enough of how beautiful this comic was.
Yeah, I mean, if we're just grading this book on the art, it's a 10, like no hands down.
Yeah, like it's amazing. The story overall, I liked. Like, I think having the context of the other issue, even though he kind of gives into it, I think having the whole rundown of it was a good addition to have for this fanfic, as we're calling it. But yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it. It's still really embodied, like you said, that classic Fantastic Four, Ben and Johnny's connection there. The way that they banter was very spot on.
Yeah, I also liked like Sue. They gave her stuff to do. It wasn't just like, she's a woman, make a sandwich. Anyway, it's off to adventure. It's like she was putting force fields out. She was keeping people invisible.
Yeah.
She was doing her part in the Fantastic Four, which I don't think. I think Stan and Jack did that a lot, but I think over the years, depending on who's writing her, sometimes she just gets pushed back and she
kind of becomes like just a side character, not a main Fantastic
the mom or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it was really good, and like I said, the story. I never got bored, and never there were a couple points where I had to like reread.
It's definitely a Silver Age story.
Yeah.
I'd say that.
It's an ode to the classic stories, and like you said, like a continuation on a weird ending, a weird little blip in the time of the Fantastic Four. But like I enjoyed it, and I still like. I think maybe because of the awe of it, like I didn't feel as put out by the story.
Yeah, everybody I've heard talk about it are like, I don't give a fuck what this story is.
Yeah,
like,
I think
he could have put gibberish on each page, and it would have been.
It could have been all that alien speak where you couldn't read any of it, but you basically have an idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So specifically, like all the stuff in the negative zone was, I've never seen like stuff like that before. It was really cool.
This was groundbreaking.
So overall, it's not a perfect comic, but it is a good comic. It is like Fantastic Four. Everything you would probably want from it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah. I'm going to give this one a 10. I think it captured that 60s vibe a lot. It was like an ode, a perfect ode or like homage to Stan and Jack and their creation of Fantastic Four and everything that they do in there. The art is beyond amazing. And I love that this came out on its own. Marvel's stupid enough to not even bother printing it and putting it out themselves. So Abrams was like, I will, and then I'll make a bunch of money. And apparently this thing is selling top 100 in books, not just comics or graphic novels. This thing is doing gangbusters as far as printing or as far as people buying it.
Nice.
So that is amazing. That is good. I mean, I hope everybody buys this book because it is.
I'm buying it because of it. So yeah.
One thing that's cool is it is an album size. Like it's a kind of a European size.
Yeah.
They call them albums, but it's basically like super wide and super tall compared to your average graphic novel. So I love the format of it. I think it's a perfect book, and I was lucky enough to get the super special edition of it that has a slipcase.
Is your sign too?
No, but it has an art print.
Nice.
So
the art print is really.
I got an Alex Ross art print and a slipcase and everything for it. So that was pretty nice.
And that's funny because you, like you said before, like you, as much as you think he has amazing art, you probably would not have gone out of your way to get a print of his. But like this is so unique. This is so him, but so unique for him.
I will say the art print is not this art. It is more of his standard art, but
it's still really good.
It is still good, but I'm just saying like. It's not like the pencil shading and whatever he uses on this to get that like more gritty or realistic, not realistic feel, but more like cartoony feel that he uses in it. Because it works so well for this. But yeah, either way, I was happy to find that. It was only like $10 more than the actual book. So the book is available still on Amazon. It's not out of print yet. This will go out of print.
It will go out of print.
So if you have any inkling of wanting to read this, definitely go buy that book. So if you guys don't know, we have a Patreon and we do votes every week. I'm sorry, every month. Every month for our Patreon members that you can tell us what you want us to read out of like a list that we give you to vote on. So you guys get to pick what we read every month, at least one of those every month. And if you would like to sign up for that, you can go to patreon.com/Planes, Trains, and Comic Books, all one word. Also on the Patreon, I have a Hellblazer Matt's Minis. And on that, if you don't know, I'm reading through every issue of Hellblazer. So definitely check that out if you have any interest in that character. Much like my Swamp Thing Matt's Minis, I am just going through every issue and letting you be able to listen to while you work and everything and driving. Every issue of a comic series you might be interested in or might not be, but you listen to a couple, you get into the character, and now it's your new favorite character. So that's what I'm hoping for. So definitely check those out on our Patreon. Once again, at patreon.com/Planes, Trains, and Comic Books, all one word.
Don't forget about all of our social media as well. We've got Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube with lots of exclusive content. Matt's always pumping out what's coming out that week. What are some good ones? What are some ones that maybe aren't his thing, but maybe it's your thing? So definitely check us out. And with that, I think we'll see you on the next one.
On the next one.
Bye.